I've jumped on a train to the outskirts of London to ride what might be London's best gravel route. Let's find out. Shortcut, get out of the way. Today's ride is just over 30 miles, around 50 kilometers, with around 2,000 feet of climbing, so not a flat day out. And it starts and finishes in Hayes, on the outskirts of south east London in the London borough of Bromley. This route featured in a list put together by Red Bull of London's best gravel routes, and it was recommended by cyclist Delilah Leckie. Apparently we should expect around 50% on-road, 50% off-road, with a mixture of bridleways, woodland and short paths. So I think it should be a nice one. Given this ride starts and finishes at Bromley, I feasibly could very easily have ridden the whole thing rather than getting the train. But to be entirely honest with you, I'm just not in the mood for busy roads and dealing with drivers lately, to be honest. And I'm hoping a nice gravel ride might be a good way of getting me back on the bike for the first time in a little while.
Classic, all the way from Akron to Ann Arbor, but you couldn't bring yourself to put your book down.
Today I'm riding my Kona Rove, which is my gravel adventure bike. The first drop bar bike that I bought when I first started getting into cycling during the lockdowns. When I first rode it, I kind of converted it into a road bike, put on skinny tyres. But when I recently bought a new road bike, I converted this back to a gravel bike. I put on fatter 40mm tyres. I put on GRX group set on the front ring, which gave me a much better gearing range. And yeah, it's been great being able to get off-route, off-road with it. It's the bike that I rode my bikepacking adventures on this summer, my 3 days in Suffolk and my bikepacking trip on the edge of London. It's definitely in need of a service. Gave it a bit of a beating on those bikepacking trips, but I'm sure it will survive today. Gillet's coming off already. Looks like we're finally going to leave the road. Here we go, gravel tyres finally doing what they were made for.
Our American
That section was actually quite technical, that little chalky, woody descent. A couple of roots you had to jump over, bit of slippery chalk, still a bit muddy. It has rained a bit this October. This is what I'm after though.
Our American
I have to say the off-road bits of this ride are really nice, and I thought I'd recognise it more from hikes I've done, but it all seems quite new to me actually. So on my Kona Rove today, I am running an Apidura half-length frame bag, where I've got a very packable little puffy jacket. It's meant to be a little bit chilly today. It's meant to be about 12 degrees. It's warm. But yes, I've got frame bag. I've also got 2 bottles with me. I've also got a little top tube bag. The only thing I'm really carrying in that is my cameras. So I'm filming on a GoPro, which is in my hand now. And also I recently upgraded my phone to a Google Pixel. And then in my pockets, I've got a waterproof right jacket because apparently it may rain. And I've also got some snacks, vegan sausage roll, peanuts, fruit pastels, the usual clobber. As I kind of alluded to, I've not been on that many rides lately. I think various factors for that. But there was a point earlier in the summer where I felt like I was actually quite fit. I was doing quite a lot of indoor rides of the evening. And then I got ill, just a cold, but it just went on for ages and ages. And I think I lost a lot of fitness. And I think that was quite demotivating. But also I've just spent a lot of the summer going on hikes instead of bike rides, to be honest. And I found that I've really enjoyed that kind of slower pace of activity. This is all just a very long-winded way of saying that I'm hoping that gravel cycling is the answer to get me on the bike a bit more, get me a bit of fitness, and reminding me that I love cycling and that cycling's class, because I know it is. I was a little bit worried with this ride that the 50% of it that was on road might be quite unpleasant or I might not enjoy. But actually, when you've done 20 minutes of slushing in mud, a little 5-minute section on the road where you can get a bit of speed, cover a bit of ground, and also flick off all the mud from your tyres, is actually quite welcome. So actually I think maybe it's like the perfect balance. Oh, you definitely notice the chill in the air a bit more when you're travelling at speed on the road sections. I am glad of the long sleeves after all. Yep, it's hilly. I was in my easiest gear and I was still struggling. But we're very much in Surrey now, but I'm still going to call it a London gravel route because it does start and finish in Greater London. I definitely forgot that 30 miles of gravel is a lot further than 30 miles of road. First time maybe this whole ride that we're on a surface that you'd actually call gravel. I know gravel cycling doesn't literally just mean gravel, but yeah, most of it's been mud, which is fun. But yeah, actual gravel. Really beautiful view there. And I'm hoping such a high view means that there's a lot of descending to come, because I could do with a little bit of rest in the legs. I found a pub. I'm gonna get a pint of Coke and fill up my water. It's not quite a bonk, but it's not far off. Thankfully that Coke seems to have sorted me out for at least a little while, and I'm heading back into London, so yeah, feeling a lot better. And it's still a beautiful route.
On the street that I live, there is room to see the sky.
I'll be honest, I'm greeting the sight of roads with open arms because it's a harder ride than I was expecting. There's been a few fast roads, so if you're not a confident cyclist, if you're not confident on the roads amongst traffic, I'll say this route is not the one for you. Some of the roads are okay, some of the roads are really nice, but some of the roads are quite fast, so just bear that in mind.
Once I was a young man who would die upon his hill.
I don't think I've ever cycled past a cow before.
Very young man still.
Very fast road descent just then, and then a pretty steep gravel climb. I think I'm probably just about on the limit of what this bike can handle on this route, to be honest. If it was any wetter, I think these tyres would have struggled for grip on any of those climbs. There were bits of it, you know, that were not far off mountain biking, to be honest. But yeah, if you want to do this ride, I think just be careful of what the weather's been like the preceding few weeks and just make sure your bike's going to handle it, because some of it is quite technical.
The leaves, they have been falling, love, and then your green sprung hair. But in the last 1,000,000 leaves could not tempt you away, 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 away from London and the life that you have made.
Very nearly back where we started now, nearly at the end of the route. What have we learned? Or more realistically, what have I been reminded of? I think I've been reminded of the fact that cycling 50 kilometers with a significant amount of it on gravel or off-road is a lot slower and a lot harder than road. I've definitely been reminded of the importance of having layers and options in terms of clothing on the ride. And I've been reminded that gravel bikes are seriously fun. I was really hoping I'd enjoy today's ride, and I'm really glad that I have. I think I'm going to do a lot more gravel rides, and I'll definitely aim to make videos of those gravel rides as well. So if that sounds up your street and you're not already, maybe consider subscribing to the channel. If you've got any recommendations of gravel routes in or near London, I'd love to hear them. As always, I'll leave a link to the route in the description of this video. And if you've enjoyed it, hit the like button. As always, thank you for watching, and see you again soon. Cheers. I know, embarrassing stuff.